Welcome back, traders, to another market preview. We are done with the month of March and we are heading into April. Now remember, the first week of the month is going to be non-farm payroll, so let's go ahead and take a look at the economic calendar. Here we have the first week of April on investing.com, and on Monday we can see that we do have some high impact news at 9:45 and at 10 o'clock. So this could bring some good volatility for us to take advantage of, but we are coming off of a holiday, so I would be slightly cautious, but potentially we could have some trades here. Now going into Tuesday, we do see that we have a high impact news event at 10 o'clock, and then we have some medium impact FOMC members speaking later on in the day. So if I were to trade Tuesday, I think I will focus mainly in the morning on this 10 o'clock news event. Okay, going into Wednesday, we see that we don't have too much news, except we do have some high impact at 8:15 and 9:45, and of course 10 o'clock. But remember, we do have non-farm payroll this week, so I do not plan on trading on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you do plan on trading Wednesday, I guess you can focus in the morning at 9:45 and 10 o'clock, but definitely don't do anything in the afternoon. There's really nothing going on, and we have Powell speaking at 12 o'clock. Now going into Thursday, we do have some news at 8:30, but not too much later on in the day. And then Friday, of course, we have non-farm payroll at 8:30. Now going into the charts, I'm going to work backwards today. I have the dollar index pulled up on the daily, and I have been bullish on the dollar. So I'm still looking for price to come up or the drawing liquidity above the high here and going into the weekly order block. But we do see price coming up into some premium rates on the higher time frame. What is going to invalidate my idea is if price drops below this daily order block. So if price goes below here, then I would think that my bias is incorrect and I will be looking for lower prices for the dollar index. Here we have the dollar index on the weekly chart, and this is the old high that I was looking for price to go above and back into this weekly order block. Now we can see that we are reclaiming this old fair value gap, so it could just be a reclaim before sending price lower, so definitely be aware of that. Here's the line that I drew on the daily chart. I don't want to see price go below this line before taking out the buy side liquidity and into the order block here. And as always, going into a new month, I like to take a quick look at the monthly chart. We can see that we are going back into this old fair value gap here. We could just be rebalancing this before we go lower. If we start closing above that weekly order block, then I could look for price to come up above this high. We definitely have to see how price behaves while it's in this range. Moving on to S&P, this is the weekly chart, and the only thing I want to know is this fair value gap here. It's a small fair value gap, but there is one, and if you look for many weeks, we haven't had any imbalances, so this could be a sign that we are going to be pushing up into that all-time high. Now I want to make sure to keep a close eye on price to see if it closed strongly above the all-time high or if it's just going to sweep it and come back down, and also keep an eye on the dollar index for that inverse correlation. Going into the daily chart now, I said I want to keep an eye on the dollar index, but if I'm just looking at ES by itself, I want to see price come down into this weekly fair value gap for support, then going higher, taking out the relative highs and the all-time high here. Now I want to keep an eye to see if it's going to close strongly above it or if it's just going to be a sweep. If it's going to be a sweep and then come back down to take out this order block and create a market structure shift here, then and only then will I be looking for these relative lows down here. Here we have the weekly for the Nasdaq, and we don't see that fair value gap like we do on ES. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go into the daily chart. So on the daily chart, you can see that we've been working in this fair value gap here. It's a rather large fair value gap, and if you divide it in half, you can see that we've only been really working in the upper half. Now, if this is going to keep going this way and create this as support, I will be looking for price to take out the high back up here. And I want to keep a close eye on this fair value gap. I think this is going to be very important. Should it get closed in all the way, then I've got my eye on this order block. And of course, if it take out this swing low, then I will consider that as a market structure shift for price to go lower. So that's it for me this time. Do be careful this week because we all know that non-farm payroll week can be kind of choppy, so don't go too big into your trades. Also, like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so, and keep an eye out for my next week's video. But until next time, guys, good luck trading.